guys, Bman coming to you from Penny Lane, of course, and welcome to this last week of our UK theme month. Hope you've been enjoying the 9 different artists and bands that we've been doing from the UK. We've been having a blast doing it, and sad to say this is the last one. So for me, I did 2 songs from the 60s, 2 songs from the 80s, and now I'm going to pick a decade in between and do one from the 70s. This is actually from 1979. It's from one of my top 10 favorite bands and one of my top 10 most influential artists for me. And they are none other than the Police. Of course, as you know, the Police consist of Sting, whose birth name is Gordon Sumner, and of course he played bass in the Police. There's Stewart Copeland, who's a fantastic drummer, among other things. Just on a side note for Stewart Copeland, did you know he can play 13 different instruments at a professional level? There you go. And then of course Andy Summers, who is a magician on the guitar. And of course you put the 3 of them together and you had the Police, a band like none other. So I'm taking Message from a Bottle, like I said, from the Police from 1979. This is off of their second album called Regatta De Blanc. The first one was Outlanders and More. Now this is Regatta De Blanc. And Message in a Bottle, chart-wise, hit number 74 in the US, number 1 in the UK, and number 5 in the Australian charts. And what makes this particular song special for the Police is this was the Police first of 5 consecutive #1 hits in the UK. So, and this was the beginning of that. So, there are, for me, 2 different versions of Message in a Bottle. There's the 1979 version, which, let's see, how does that go? 2, 3, 4. And that was the way I was going to originally do it. But I decided to go with the 1985 version, which, as you see me sitting here in the seat, relaxed, chilling out with Frida, who's going to help me on this one. This was a slowed down version. Sting did this, and I'll tell you more about this after the song. So, but it's a slowed down version, which is my favorite of his. I like them both, don't get me wrong. But this one was kind of special, and like I said, at the end, I'll tell you why. So I guess with no further ado, Message in a Bottle by the Police, 1979. Just a castaway, an island lost at sea, oh. Another lonely day, no one here but me, oh. More loneliness than any man can bear. Rescue me before I fall into despair. I'll send an SOS to the world. I'll send an SOS to the world. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets my message in a bottle. Message in a bottle. A year has passed since I wrote my note. I should have known it right from the start. Only hope can keep me together. Love can mend your life, but love can break your heart. I'll send an SOS to the world. I'll send an SOS to the world. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets mine. I hope that someone gets my message in a bottle. Message in a bottle. Message in a bottle. Message in a bottle. Walked up this morning, don't believe what I saw. 100 billion bottles washed upon the shore. Seems I'm not alone in being alone. 100 billion castaways looking for a home. I'll send an SOS to the world. I'll send an SOS to the world. I hope that someone gets my. I hope that someone gets my. I hope that someone gets my message in a bottle. Message in a bottle. Message in a bottle. Message in a bottle. Send it out in SOS. 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 Everybody, send it out in SOS. Send it out in SOS. Send it out in SOS. Send it out in SOS to the world. To the world. To the world. Send it out in SOS. Send it out in SOS. Send it out in SOS. Message in a Bottle by the Police, 1979. Now the version I did was from 1985. So give me 5 minutes or less and let me tell you this tale. First off, we're going to start with Sting. Now, many of you may or may not know that before Sting became part of the Police, he was a teacher. And the one thing about Sting is he hates when he can see his future. So he's a school teacher, right? I remember listening to him talk about this in an interview. And it might have actually been in the movie I'm going to talk about. But he's a teacher. And he says he could see himself in 5 years becoming a headmaster, and after that becoming an administrator, and so on and so on. And it bored him to death to think about that. And he hates being bored. So he decided, you know what? I'm going to have to do something else. So he focused on music. So he played with jazz bands and stuff. That's where he's got his roots. And eventually he got together with Stewart Copeland and Andy Summer, and they formed the Police, and of course the rest is history, you know. I remember the very first single they released, Roxanne, and awesome song. Anywho, so he's in the Police. It gets around 1983, right? Police are one of the biggest bands in the world. And Sting he's playing at Madison Square Garden, him and the Police. And while he's playing, he says he has this epiphany. And his epiphany was simply this: This is as big as it gets. He goes, yeah, we can play bigger stadiums and that sort of stuff, but we're one of the most popular bands in the world. We're selling out on all of our concerts. And he goes, I can see myself doing this another 5-10 years until, we fade out. But again, he gets restless. That idea of doing that, again, bored him. So what did Sting do? He disbands the Police and starts his solo career. So the very first thing that he does is he goes back to his jazz roots and he forms a jazz band with some of the greatest jazz players out there. Listen to this list. So you got Sting. Now, as you know, in the Police, he played bass. But he also loves to play guitar. But in the Police, you got Andy Summer, phenomenal guitarist. So, he's not going to take over that. So, now in his jazz band, he can be the guitarist. And he had a guitar just like this, right? A Fender Stratocaster. I don't know if it was Frida like mine, but that's why I played this one. And that's one of the reasons why I have this particular guitar. He's one of the artists. Anyway, so he forms this jazz band. And you can watch the documentary of the forming of the jazz band all the way up to their concert where they're playing in Paris. It's an awesome documentary. You're like, well, where can I watch this? YouTube. You type in Bring On the Night, 1985. It'll pull up that documentary and you can watch. It's about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. Oh my gosh, it's fabulous. The music is fabulous. Watching them as they're taking Sting songs and pulling them together into a cohesive unit. I found it quite fascinating. In fact, off of that, he released his album, which is my favorite, his first solo album, Dream of the Blue Turtles, which I think is his best. Now, there are a lot. Now, don't get me wrong. This is the beginning. Sting has an incredible solo career outside of the Police. This was just the beginning, but this is my favorite album. I mean, because song after song after song are just spectacular. So anyway, so listen to this band he's got. So you got Sting on vocals and playing guitar. You got Omar Hakim on drums. You got Daryl Jones on bass. You got Kenny Kirkland on keyboards. Branford Marsalis of the Marsalis family is playing sax. And then he's got Dolette McDonald and Janice Pendarvis doing background vocals. And that makes up the band. And, oh my God, a fantastic band it was. So anyway, at the end of the documentary, Sting comes out for an encore and he plays Message in a Bottle just like this. He did it better than me. I'm not going to fool anybody. I held my own, but oh man, because Sting's a fabulous musician. But he came out all by himself with him and his Fender and played the slow version of Message in a Bottle, which is why I wanted to do this. Then we flash forward years ahead. Guess who comes to Grand Rapids, Michigan to play a concert? That's right, none other than Sting. And I have the pleasure of going to see him. And it was an awesome concert because he decided it was actually called Back to Basics, where he was playing Police music, he was playing solo music, and he was rocking his butt off. But again, the very last encore that he did was him, the Fender, Message in a Bottle, which is why I wanted to do the slow down version. It means a lot to me. So that's why I did this. So, okay, so that covers that. So, now let's get to it. If you enjoyed this slow-down version of Message in a Bottle, how about giving it a thumbs up? If you enjoyed mine and Frida's performance, and if you send it out a SOS at the end with us, leave us a message. We'd appreciate that. We had a great time. Hope you've enjoyed UK month. Now, we're moving into a month where it's anything goes. No non-theme month, as you know, I know anything goes. The first week is going to be a Bman original. Third week is going to be a Beatles song. The second and the fourth week, or whatever. Actually, though, the second week, this coming up month, is actually another artist spotlight where Plots and I are both doing different songs from the same artist. And we hope you really enjoy that. So I guess that's enough, right? I've been chatting a long time. So, with no further ado, peace out. Live long and prosper.